somebody that had been in band in high school and possibly been in college band and might even have continued to do music after college. And when I couldn't think of anybody, I asked my brother to do it. No, Hammett was in junior high band. It actually started taking piano lessons, I think, when he was 7, and joined the junior high band in 7th grade. High school band, he was an all-region French horn player, also made all-state on French horn. And then he decided to go to Hendrix College and was a religion major, and also decided to minor in music. And I don't think he had any idea that he would actually end up using that minor in his career. But when he graduated, he was a youth minister for a few months, and then a position came open that was a part-time youth pastor and a part-time music minister. And some of us know 2 part-time jobs make a full-time job. So he took on both of them and did church choir and handbell choir, and then was also the youth minister at First United Methodist Church in Crossett for 7 years, and then decided that he wanted to complete his divinity degree, right, master's in divinity at Emory University. And now he is the pastor at First United Methodist Church in Bryant. And he plays keyboard, guitar, bass, pretty much whatever they need. He plays in the praise band during the service, and then also preaches the sermon. As I said before, he's a youth minister, so he's used to speaking to students of y'all's age, and so I think you're probably going to enjoy what he says. If anything, he'll probably tell something embarrassing about me, so at least you can walk home with that tonight. So please help me welcome Reverend Hammett Evans.
I won't say anything embarrassing, but I'll say something embarrassing about myself, and that is that, you know, you can say a lot about Bryce, but one thing that you can't say is that he's not fair. Amen? Amen. Sometimes I say amen, it just means that's right. Okay? He has that gift of wanting everything to be fair because of me. You can thank me for that. Raise the microphone a little bit. All right, thank you. I'm used to having one of these down around here, but it really is an honor to be with you tonight, and I was really tickled when Bryce asked me to come and speak to you. I think this would be a little bit of fun. I was kind of surprised, but it's good. And I've gotten to know a few of you a little bit over the last few years, because Bryce has been your band director. And Michelle, my wife Michelle, and I are really looking forward to getting to know you a lot better next year when we go to Hawaii with you. Yeah. Michelle and I love coming to your concerts, and it's really cool, you know, as you watch you guys progress over years. We get to see you grow up and get a little bit older and a little bit more mature. You grow in your musical skills and abilities as well, and it's so cool to see how you advance and get prepared to go on to college and even greater things. But I have to admit that my favorite part of coming to your concerts is getting to watch my little brother do what he was born to do. That's the coolest thing. It's getting to see him do what he was born to do. You know, he probably doesn't tell y'all this very much, but he does love you. He really does. And he loves his job, and he's really pursuing his dream by being your band director. He really does. Yeah. And I'm living my dream. I'm pursuing my dream too. And one of the things that I really love about my work as a pastor is I get to help people find their dream and to start pursuing it and living it. And my hope for each one of you, whether you're in high school or whether you're 95 years old tonight, I hope that you have found or will find your dream and pursue it with passion and purpose in your life. So our question is, how do we do that? How do we find our dream, and how do we pursue it with passion? And I have to say that the first thing that I need to tell you is you can't do that on your own. You can't do that by yourself. If your dream is can be done by you alone, you're not dreaming big enough. Amen? You're not dreaming big enough. You need people alongside you. You need people that will partner with you. You need people who are on your team. You also need people, and these are the most important people that you have to find in your life. You need to find people around you that will challenge you and inspire you to reach far beyond what you think you could do by yourself. So people are important. You need to have people around you. And my brother Bryson and our sister Eleanor and I are really indebted to our mother because she, and if you're a praying person, she could really use the prayer. She's pretty sick. But I don't want to get into all that right now. What I want to tell you about Mom is that she gave us our love and our passion for music. When we were young, she had an angel's voice, and she played piano. She learned how to play hymns, and she would accompany the hymns when our grandfather was preaching. And so she was a fantastic pianist and a fantastic singer. And she had all kinds of music going on in the house and in the car. And she loved Motown, and so we got that stuff. And we learned all these 50 songs that she loved so much. And she gave us that passion that we have for our music. And so any musical genes that either one of us have come from her, because my dad can't play the radio. But the other thing that our mom did is that she challenged us to do our best. She always has challenged us to do our best. She wouldn't let us get a C because she knew that we could do better than that. She would encourage us and push us to do even better. And so you need people like my mom in your life. You need people who will challenge you and encourage you to do your very best. And your dreams are not possible without those people. I also learned a lot about making dreams possible in band of all things. And I figure you already know that practice makes perfect. And I figure you already know that there is no I in team and things like that. So I want to move beyond the simplistic and move into the subtle. One of the things that I learned from band is the art of listening. The art of listening. Every band director that I ever had said, you have to listen to the people around you, especially the people who are more musically mature than you are, because that is how you learn. That is how you learn. And you know that our culture does not value listening. I mean, you watch the news, watch Facebook and Twitter and things like that. Everybody is shouting what they think, and nobody is trying to listen, especially to people who are different than they are. The art of listening is very, very important. One of the great mystics in history said that he was praying that he might not seek so much to be understood as to understand. And what he was saying is that it's more important for us to understand others than for them to understand us. So that's one thing band helped me to learn. Band also helped me to understand the importance of discovering your gifts. Discovering your gifts. And I was not an athlete in high school. You know, I know some of you probably play football or basketball, and you excel at those things, and you're also great in music as well. I wasn't that person. I really just had band as my extracurricular activity. But I want you to know that I played French horn like it was a full contact sport. And if you were sitting in the chair ahead of me, you better look out, because you were just keeping my chair warm. Some of y'all don't like that? I mean, I was ruthless. I made this girl cry. She was so sweet too. I would not do this today. But I made Holly Smith cry because she just was in band to sit next to her best friend Lisa. And I challenged Holly, and I beat her. And so then I got to sit by Lisa. Lisa was fine too, but that's But then we moved my senior year. Yeah, I want some sympathy. Can y'all say, oh? Yeah, I guess, but it was much easier on him. He was just a sophomore. But anyway, So I'm the new kid, and I go to this new school, and they haven't ever heard me play. They don't know how good I am. And so I had to sit last chair. I had not sat last chair since I was a freshman in high school, and that was before we tried out, and I beat 2 people. Last chair. Last chair. How embarrassing was that? So, but, guess what? As I'm down there and I'm having to play 4th part, I realized how much I had loved playing 4th horn. All that low stuff below middle C was a blast. And then I had to start practicing there. I started practicing all of these arpeggios and scales down there because I didn't remember the fingerings down below middle C. And it was a lot of fun. So then the first time I try out at Jonesboro, I tied for 1st chair French horn. And there is nothing better than in one day moving up 9 chairs. You were keeping my seat warm. You were keeping my seat warm. You were keeping my seat warm. But anyway, but even though I was tied for 1st chair, our band director, Mr. Carlton, Jeff Carlton, would ask me to play 4th part because I was so good at it. And I was happy to oblige him because I loved playing 4th horn. Well, it turns out that practicing down low actually helps you play up high. And so by the time we got to all-state tryouts, I could play 4 octaves on the French horn at one time. I could play middle C, 2 C's above, and 2 C's below. And so when I tried out for all-state, I played a 4-octave scale on the French horn, C scale on the French horn. I know, it's amazing. I can't believe I can do that, but I did. And so anyway, I did. I made the orchestra. I can't remember, I was 1st or 2nd chair. But when the mail came and they delivered the music, it was all 4th horn. Because they knew that I could play way down low. I'll tell you, this was really awesome. This is where it gets really awesome. That year, we played John Williams' original score to The Empire Strikes Back. To The Empire Strikes Back. Now, you might remember, the Imperial March, Darth Vader's theme, all that stuff. That's all French horn. That's all French horn. Yoda's theme, you remember that wonderful scene where Yoda closes his eyes and he raises his hand and he raises Luke Skywalker's X-Wing up out of the swamp of Dagobah and lands it to show him who faith really is? That is a duet between the 4th horn and an oboe. It was awesome. It was fantastic. So much fun. So what's the point of all that? Discovering your gifts means doing what you do well, with passion and with purpose. That's what discovering your gifts is all about. And I can't think of anybody that put this better than Dr. Martin Luther King. He gave this speech about almost a year to the day before he was assassinated. But he told the story. He said he used to go get his shoes shined in this little shop in Montgomery, Alabama. And there was a guy there, and he said this. He said he would get that rag, and he could bring music out of it. He could bring music out of his shoe shine rag. And then Dr. King said this. He said, even if it falls your lot to be a street sweeper, go on out and sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. Sweep streets like Handel and Beethoven composed music. Sweep streets like Shakespeare wrote poetry. Sweep streets so well that all the host of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, here lived a great street sweeper who swept his job well. And then he brings it home. He says, if you can't be a pine tree on the top of a hill, be a scrub in the valley. But be the best little scrub on the side of the hill. Be a bush if you can't be the tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. It isn't by size that you win or you fail. Be the best of whatever you are. Some of y'all heard that before. The cool thing, if you're a teenager, is you have gifts that you don't even know you have. You have gifts that you don't even know that you have. And so find your gifts and find people whose gifts complement yours and listen. And with some luck, and I'm a pastor, so I believe in some divine intervention, you will succeed. But when you succeed, succeed well. Succeed well. Now, this is not something that I really learned in band. You know I was arrogant and very competitive. But the Greek word for humility is tapeinophrosune. Can y'all say tapeinophrosune? Tapeinophrosune. Now, tapeinophrosune means literally to take a lower position. To take a lower position. We might say it's sharing the spotlight. And I'll be honest with you, when I think about humility, Michael Jackson is not the first name that comes to my mind. But you may know that when he died, he was preparing for a tour. And they released a film that showed some footage from the rehearsals in preparation for that tour. And I saw something in that rehearsal footage that reminded me of this Greek word, tapeinophrosune. You may know, that some of you may know, especially if you're a guitar player, you may know that his guitarist was a young woman, and her name is Orianthe Panagaris. And Orianthe is a young woman. Not many people know her outside of like guitar circles. She's a guitar player's guitar player. So she's relatively unknown. But there's this moment in the rehearsals for that tour where Michael Jackson walks over to Orianthe. And he stands beside her, and of course the spotlight follows Michael. Follows him. He puts his arm around her, he kind of horses around with her a little bit, points at her playing guitar, and does all this stuff. And then he steps back. He steps back into the darkness, and the spotlight stays on her. That's tapeinophrosune. That's taking a lower position so that somebody else can shine. And when you do that, that is how you succeed. You step back so that somebody else can shine. Now, if you're going to succeed well, this is the tough one. You also need to learn how to fail well. And I want to apologize on behalf of all your parents and all the other adults in the room. Because this is not an easy lesson for us to teach you. Because the last thing we want you to do is to get hurt and fail. I know that's true for Miss Russo. But the truth is, everybody fails. Everybody fails. So how do you fail well? Well, the only thing that makes you a failure is not failing. It's not trying after you fail. You hear that? The only thing that can make you a failure is if you quit trying after you fail. And you athletes and you first chairs and second chairs, you know this. You know this. You've learned this in band. You may not have realized it yet because this is another one of those subtle things. But the only way that you get stronger is by pushing your muscles to the point of failure. That's the only way they grow. That's the only way that they grow. And so if you're not, you never hit that high note. Evan, you know this. You never hit that high note until you push yourself so hard that you fail over and over and over again. And then finally, what happens? You nail it. You nail it. And every time you go for it, you have to risk failing, or you'll never hit that note. So fail well. If you're not blowing it every once in a while, you're not pushing yourself hard. Now, here's the last thing. The last thing I want to share with you is that you need to learn how to use your disadvantages to your advantage. You need to learn to use your disadvantages to your advantage. And this is my band story that I tell. I wasn't an athlete in high school. I was a band nerd. And believe me, if you call me a nerd, you better call me a band nerd. Right? Because that's a badge of honor in my book. And I was always the last kid picked. I was always the last kid picked. And so, but even band nerds like to play a little football every once in a while. And so as we were getting ready for a band practice, we would often go outside on the field in front of Dumas High School and we play a little touch football. So anyway, the captains choose their teams and I'm one of the last ones picked. And it comes down, it's 5 minutes before the end of the game. And so it's 5 minutes before band rehearsal starts. And we're tied. And the other team is on our goal line. And so they need to make some major yardage in order to win the game. So anyway, everybody takes off long. Everybody takes off long. And the quarterback is watching and watching and watching and can't find anybody to throw to. And he's looking and he's looking and he's looking. I'm about to run over there and try to tag him. And then I realized he had no idea that I was on the other team. He had no idea that I was on the other team. And so I looked at him, and instead of going and trying to tag him, I said, "Hey, throw it to me! Throw it to me! Throw me the ball! Throw me the ball!" And he looks, he knows he can't trust me to throw the ball to. I can't catch it. So he looks, no other options. He throws me the ball. I ran right behind him. The whole time he's screaming, "The other way, go the other way!" I scored the winning touchdown. And I did that by taking advantage of my disadvantage. You hear that? I made the winning touchdown by using my disadvantage to my advantage. I want to say thank you once again for inviting me to be with you tonight. I really enjoyed seeing y'all, and I'm looking forward to getting to know you better when some of us go to Hawaii in about a year and a half. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Again for that very inspirational speech. I know that a lot, can you hear me now, everybody? Is anyone in this room? Okay. I know a lot of the students who are here are focused on band above all else. And I think that's wonderful. So, I don't like labels like band nerd, things like that. But I like the idea of thinking that you're passionate about whatever it is you do. And it's obvious to me, and has been for all the years I've been principal, which is 13 now at Central, that the students who participate in our band program are very passionate about our band program and about their talents and skills. And for that, we thank you, and we're very proud of you. Thanks again. That was great. Now we're going to have a presentation of special awards, beginning with the Kavanagh Award, being presented by Ms. Leontine West.
Good evening. Nina Kavanagh, a woman possessed with the spirit of kindness, was an educator in the Springfield, Illinois school district. She loves children and often found ways to get parents to understand that children were a gift and not a burden. After moving back to Arkansas, she became a silent advocate for the Little Rock Central High flag line. She believed in any cause that allowed young people to be able to express themselves in a positive manner and to have self-respect. With this in mind, she became a faithful, dedicated, and committed individual for the Little Rock Central High flag line. The Nina Cavalier Award goes to Kiera Holloway.
Our very own assistant principal, the assistant principal of instruction, will present the Mitchell Award.
The Mitchell Award goes to the flag line student who's put it in flag line first. Because of all things, she puts flag line first. And this award goes to Alexis McLaughlin.
Ms. Donna Baldrew, assistant principal, will now present the Spivey Award.
The Spivey Award is presented to the student with outstanding service. And this award is presented tonight to Deshaun Lampkin.
By Mrs. Virginia Cruz and Miss Tina Robinson.
Good evening. Just a little bit about the award. Galen was my mom. Just a little bit about her. Galen was born June the 22nd, 1956, to the proud parents of Virginia Tubbs and Toby. She was a happy baby and a very happy child. She attended Little Rock Public Schools, graduated from high school in 1975, and attended Henderson State University. She was married to Willie School Robinson, and I have a brother named Will Robinson, Lamont Robinson, and my name is Tina Robinson. And my mother enjoyed life to the fullest. She could sing, she enjoyed it very well, and she could sing very well. She could play the piano, and after 15 years of lessons, she didn't really enjoy playing the piano, but she loved to sing instead. She loved being a high stepper. She became a leader for the high stepper flag line, which is how we got here today. She worked very hard, and she would also encourage every one of the students to work hard and preferably in everything.
And now to the flag line. And all you do to reach your goals in your life, always remember to push it to the highest extent. Remember the eagles that fly above the clouds. So I challenge you to try to reach the clouds. And with all of this, please remember that there is a divine presence that will cause you to do this. Now, the award goes to Kenyatta Ross.
Now I'm going to present the part of the program that especially is dear to me, and that is the academic achievers. So we have hold the applause till the end. There's a lot of names, thanks goodness, to announce. Kaviana Ross, Deja Harrell, Zaria Clemens, Deja Daniels, Jackie Bells, Iris Hamilton, Janae Jordan, Mila Lackey, Samora McGee, Jantasia Burnett, and Andra Ray. That's our flag line. I'm going to go ahead and call out the band. 4.0 grade point average. John Bell. Will have the band come on the opposite side. Will Carroll. Megan Chun. Henry Dudley, Angel Gatlin, Maddie Guthrie, Moyes Madani, Matthew Means, Eric Meineke, Logan Meyer, Nick Rose, Savannah Small, Wisha Shee, Deepak Suri, Justin Vanover, and Larissa White. Now we're at the 3.5 grade point to 3.99. Andrew LeVay, Jackson Deese, Zoe Moore, Faith Brown, Nia Martin, Kyle Yen, Mason Flannery, Tamaine Powell, Krista Griffith, Narelle McAdoo, Michael Holsey, Marisha Coley, Munis Kalani, Hayden Perry, Randall Jackson, Gwyneth Vladik, Sam Kuhn, Shayla Harrell, Alex Hughes, Brianna Gordon, Destin Wilkerson, Deshaun White, Jason Bliss, John Lee, Noah Vandeventer, Shayda Clay, and Tasha Stewart. Congratulations to all of you who have the top academic awards. Mr. Addison just told me that if you put all the band's grades together, every student has an average of 2.999. I think we can do that. It's a 3.0. Don't you think? I think that's wonderful. I think that's great. Congratulations. Now we're going to have our Student Choice Awards, meaning Mr. Gregory Hodges, Dean of Students, present.
Most all around, flagline, Carol Holloway. those, most all around is Kiara Holloway and Shannon Childs. Shanae Robinson and Kiana Ross.
What are they for?
Most all around. Most cooperative. Kiara Holloway. Lexi McLaughlin, Shanae Robinson, Shannon Childs, and Kariana Ross. Raven Brand. Van, Devontae Leon, Shayla Harris. Dante Leon. Most improved, flag line. Mariana Johnson, Kayla Holden, Tanea Ross. Bandit,
Yeah, that's what, your 6th piece? Well, they're little. Really, you put all together, you only had one.
4 bites. Thank you.
Assistant Principal, Mr. Ernest McGee is going to present two groups of awards.
We'll get slightly off the program here. I'm going to get a little chastised, but hey, there's only one other type of events that I enjoy coming to more than this, and that's prom, because you get to see your young ladies and young men dressed like they are tonight. Really nice, and you get to look at them in a different light. I know that not only what they're doing today is something that you're proud about when you look across and see your child dressed this nicely, and I know it makes the parents feel good. I'll give yourself okay, best musician, Megan Chung. Okay, most dedicated flag line, Kiara Holloway. Cassie Johnson. Lexi McLaughlin. Shannon Childs. Kiviana Rawls. Most outstanding flag line, Kiara Holloway. And Alexis McLaughlin. Most responsible flag line, Kiara Holloway. Keviana Rawls. Most valuable player of the band, Evan Burgess. For the flag line, most outstanding flagger, Cassie Johnson. And Keviana Rawls.
Now we're going to have our Little Miss Flagger Awards presented by Miss Juana Palmer and Miss Betty Williams.
Correct.
Most dedicated, and that's to Evan Burgess also.
Okay, aboard, besides my baby, Deja Carroll, Margaret Willis, Deja Daniels, Jacqueline Jane Bales, Iris Hamilton, Denaya Jordan, Viola Lackey, and Morgan McGee. We also had a new category this year, banner boards. 2014-15 banner board, Taylor Frankfurt and Darryl Wilson
Mr. Donald Richardson, Assistant Principal, will announce outstanding marchers.
Good evening. Outstanding marchers. Marching band appreciation goes to Deepak Suri, Greg Johnson, Nick Rose, and Cameron Thompson. Outstanding section leader, Faith Brown.
Okay, the Outstanding Marcher Band Appreciation was really the Band Appreciation Award. The Outstanding Marchers are Gwyneth Laddick, Alex Hughes, Krista Griffith, Savannah Seaball, Zoe Moore, and Joshua Pointer.
And incidentally, to tell off myself a little bit, believe it or not, I was a band nerd. I was standing marching. Got the award when I was in high school, believe it or not. I know y'all don't believe that. You thought I was a jock, didn't you? I was a jock too. That's a true story. Band captain my senior year. I got most outstanding musician. I got outstanding marcher. And I went to school of music scholarship. Baritone horn, trombone, outstanding section.
I feel wrong.
The clarinet.
Accepting for the clarinet.
When I get up there next year, I'm getting a lot of all my homes. Y'all be prepared to be here a while.
Next award is for the most improved. It was voted on by the band directors. We have Alex Hughes, Sean White, Jason Davis, Monique Carruthers, Trumaine Powell, Eli Coates. There's more. Jesse Trevino, Corey Smith, and last but not least, Henry Dunn. And Henry is a great athlete. Roll please for the drum major award. Megan Chung and Eric Mann.
It's not a mold,
Okay, outstanding drum line. Members are Deshaun Lampkin, Jordan Burton, Zakari Harris, Shayna Clay, Jeff Mosby, Joshua Porter, and Medea Kelly. Megan Sean, Maddie Guthrie, Joseph Parks, Michael Halsey, Amanda Lonnie, Sean Lampkin, Monique Brothers, Evan Burgess, David Evans, Sarah Jones, Justin Vanover, Tyler Stewart, George Burton, and Thomas Walker. Freshman sophomore, junior, y'all got big shoes to fill here. Here's their gift.
Papa got a brand new bag.
Although I have to say one of my most fun things to say at this time, you know, you're still going to be juniors. Well, most of you are.
Yeah.
Ooh, we show you this stuff.
You roll for that. And then they're checking the grades after school.
Then I tell them to see me in summer school.
Hey, snatch one of them bags, baby.
How much you want for that bag?
He's too quick. Get one of the slow girl. Get one of their bags. Get Megan's bag. She don't want that
How much you want for that bag?
This class is 2015.
We can take that out. We can take the stitching out. Give me that bag.
Okay, next we have our senior flag line, Cassie Johnson. We actually missed one senior, Kimberly Manriquez. Okay, now for our Tiger Spirit Awards for Flag Line. We have Cheryl Johnson. Tyler Davis. And Melissa Davis.
At this time, I would like Mr. Bryce Evans and Mr. Scott Addison to come forward to give their special awards.
The most outstanding woodwind for this year is Zakaya Ward.
The outstanding sophomore woodwind goes to John Bell. The outstanding junior woodwind goes to Camry McKee. And the outstanding senior woodwind goes to Shayla Harrell.
Most outstanding freshman percussion is Mr. Will Standard.
Outstanding sophomore percussion is Parker Martin.
The most outstanding junior percussionist is Dante Leon.
And the outstanding senior percussion goes to Michael Halsey and Deshaun Hampton.
Most outstanding freshman brass is Sam Kuhn.
Most outstanding sophomore brass, Noah Vandeven. Outstanding junior brass, Eric Meineke. And outstanding senior brass, Maddie Guthrie. And now we're going to award the Louis Armstrong Jazz Award. I'm sure many of you have heard Louis Armstrong, probably the most important jazz trumpet player of the early part of the 20th century. And there's an organization that has a Louis Armstrong Award, and so we're going to award this to our outstanding jazz musician, Mr. Evan Burgess. Phi Beta Mu is an honorary band director fraternity. You have to meet certain qualifications to be invited to be a member of it, and somehow I did, so I get to award a special award every year. The Phi Beta Mu Outstanding Musician Award goes to the outstanding musician, and this young lady is an outstanding pianist. She's a three-time All-State bass player, All-State jazz musician, All-Region clarinet player, All-State clarinet player, and played flute this spring in our concert band, Ms. Megan Chung. She also made a 5 on the AP Music Theory exam, and she's just decided to go to Princeton University. So. And then the John Philip Sousa Award goes to your outstanding all-around band person. This young man came to us as a freshman. I remember his dad paid for his fees and then looked at him and said, "It's up to you now." I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but he has done really well for us. He started out on saxophone. We talked him into learning how to play bassoon. And he's been an all-region saxophonist and an all-region bassoonist for 3 years, all-region jazz musician on saxophone, and then all-region concert on bassoon. He made the all-state band the last 2 years on bassoon, and I can't think of another person that's just an all-around band person, Mr. Justin Vanover. Before we move on, I want to make sure the seniors come up at the end of the program. I'd like to get a picture with them and Mr. Addison, if they'll come up to the front at the end of the program. Oh, wow. Am I doing those? Oh. Oh. Our next award is the Betty Williams Esprit de Corps Award. Esprit de Corps means spirit of the body. And Mr. Addison and I were talking about it, and we just looked at each other and said the same person at the same time. This young lady has just an amazing attitude. She's the percussion mama. I think any of the percussionists would say she's the percussion mama, Natasha Stewart. The Sam Meredith Award, and it's hard to believe I probably need to explain who Sam Meredith is. Mr. Meredith was the band director at Central most of the 2000s. I believe he was here for 10 years. I remember my boss talking about hearing his concert bands and them just being phenomenal. He had a great reputation for concert bands. He established the Jazz Central spring concert program that we do every year, and brought in some world-class musicians. Ron Carter is one of the most respected jazz teachers in the country, in the world. Tony Baker, he brought Tony Baker in, who's a graduate of Central. Wycliffe Gordon's probably my favorite jazz trombonist. He brought him in, just really established a really solid program here at Central. And so we named an award for our band boosters for Sam Meredith. These two parents, and we have many parents that help us with everything, but I can't think of a time when these parents haven't been involved. They have kids that do everything, and they are always working their schedule to work out, for one of them to be at something and the other one to be somewhere else. And they've just been a tremendous asset to our program for the last 4 years. We're really going to miss them. Chris and Robin Vanover. And then we also have the Pride of the Tiger Award that goes to a supportive band parent. We have taught one of his children the 5 years I've been here, and I think next year will be the first time we've done. There won't be a person from this family in our band in a really long time, probably 8 or 9 years. And he also has volunteered to do the Cuban pig roast at a football game every year to help raise money for the program, and has just been very supportive of our program, Mr. Blaine Burgess. Okay. I need a little help tonight. Okay, I'm going to make an excuse for myself. I took a statistics file and got home at 1 a.m. on Wednesday, and then I turned in my research project at 5 o'clock before I came up here for another class I'm taking, so I'm frazzled. Anyway.
Tell them what you made.
I made hazelnut. I made the highest grade I made in my statistics class, and I do not encourage taking a math class 20 years after the last math class you took. But I scored in the low 90s on every test, and the very last exam I took, which I thought was going to be the hardest one, I made a 97 on. I still don't recommend waiting that long to take math. We so suffered two tremendous losses this year in our program. We had two fathers just pass away very suddenly within a week of each other. We have taught Higuchi has been in the band program every year since like 2005 or 6. And we will still have Higuchi in band next year. And so we did, and then Jeff Bell was one of those people, I think everybody said he was at everything. And when we went to his funeral, we found out that he also went to everything in Boy Scouts and church, and just he was active in many different things, and it's just been a really tough loss for us this year. So we decided to name 2 awards for those 2 gentlemen. And I also mentioned Masahiro Higuchi was one of the world's top researchers in cancer research, and was every 3 or 4 months finding a new way to help cure cancer. It was, he was just a very intelligent person who put in 23-hour days to help other people. So the Masahiro Higuchi Award is for outstanding academic excellence, and it will go to our future Princeton freshman, Megan Chung. And then we named the Outstanding Citizenship Award after Jeff Bell. Jeff was a Central graduate. He was tops in his class at Central, tops in his class at University of Arkansas, was tops in his class in the law school at the University of Arkansas, and again, came to everything. If we did something and he had conflict, he would email and say, well, we're gonna work this out, we'll make it. So we're gonna honor Jeff with an Outstanding Citizenship Award, and it will go to Justin Vanover. Ms. Williams told me to sit down, so I'm going to.
This next person really needs no introduction. We all love her. To present special awards, we have Miss Betty Wood.
Thank you. First thing, give yourselves a big hand. Flag line, little flaggers. Drumline, stereophonic storm, we love you. I am going to present some awards to our speaker, Reverend Hammond. Evan, he reminded me of myself. When I say I don't yell, I just escalate my voice. You did a fantastic job in speaking for us today. When I was battling in my mind about the theme, 3 or 4 things came to my mind. I sent the things down to Mr. Evans, Mr. Addison. You choose, I like both, I like all of them, blah, blah, blah. So, I thought about it, and I thought about it. And I chose the theme that's on the program. We strive for better, bigger things. Each time you practice, each time you twirl, each time you get out on the field and represent Central, words just cannot express how much we are proud of you all. Our speaker, in appreciation, we thank you for speaking to us today. Reverend Hammond Evans, Little Rock Central High School Stereophonic Storm, Marching Band, Flag Line, and Little Flaggers. Thank you. here representing our security staff, Mr. Jackie Fells. Supervisor, we have the best security staff in the district. Outside the district, they are the best. We cannot make it, we cannot survive, or could not survive without our security staff. Ms. Lily. Ms. Lily takes very good care of our girls. Representing the ROTC unit, Lieutenant Colonel Roxburgh and Chief Daphne Crumpton. It's not a time that we have asked them to do something that they refused us. ROTC, we appreciate you. Evans, Mr. Addison. Come forward, please. Tonight. On behalf of Central High School students, Storm Marching Flatline Band, Little Flaggers, we would like to present these plaques to you all for your dedication, your leadership, to the Total Band Flatline Program. Outstanding services rendered. I know I get on your nerves, but get over it. Soldiers in here ready to tell me. Okay. Miss Clarissa, Miss Flagger, Field Judge, Director, Miss DeShonda Davis, Flagline Chairperson, come forward please. On behalf of Flagline, Miss Flagler, I know we worked with you there. We could not have made it without you. And our little babies, we have the only little flaggers, little group in Little Rock School District, North Little Rock School District. We are so proud of our babies. Thank you. Deshaun Lampkin. I called basketball drumline, Mr. Basketball Man, Mr. Drumline. On behalf of the drumline, we appreciate you for leading. Wow. Without drumline during basketball season, we could not have performed. So we appreciate your outstanding services rendered. Flagline, and Ms. Flagler. Thank you. Drum roll. I you know how we feel about you. We love you. You have been supported from day one. You love your babies, all of them. We appreciate you. Words just cannot express how much we appreciate you. And someone said that we're going to get you a ticket to go to Hawaii with us. We love you. Love to Stereophonic Storm Band, marching flag line, drum line, and Little Miss Flaggers. We love you.
Now you move out the way. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah, I got you. This kind of represents her yardstick. Get my routine right. Babies come to my hug and kisses. This is for your precious babies. This ain't it. True love.
Cheers.
Every year, at the end of the program, I get to call all our new flag line up to the front. We are going to our flag line reading. Let's go, flag line. All new members. All the new members. All the new members. Because they need to hear their creed again. Old and new. You're on the flag line. Come
Remember where it was going to be. I was like, oh, it's in the auditorium. Those seats are comfortable. It's
You'll turn around and face the audience, please.
Well, you know, they're not.
A lot of repeat after me. This is a promise I made to myself. Please raise your right hand. I will listen to what others have to say to support me. I will treat others the way I would like to be treated. I will respect the diversity of all people. I will remember that I have people who care about me in my family, school, and community. I will always try my best. I will do my best to learn things that are difficult for me. I will ask for help when I don't understand. I will stretch and challenge myself to learn more and become a better person. I will stick with something until I learn it. Congratulations. Thank you.
Child Protection Services investigating her, taking her 6 kids away.
For our band director and assistant band director. Now, where are we? I spent a whole lot of time I mean, that is their right. But I feel like a lot of times we need to be, and I will tell you what, as parents, as students, as people in the community, you really don't understand how much they do above and beyond the classroom. They're always there. If your child forgets something in the band room on a Sunday mornings, Mr. Evans will let him in to get it. It really is amazing what not only they do, but teachers in general. I don't think we realize it unless we spend time watching what they do day in and day out. So we have awards for Mr. Evans and Mr. Addison. Thank you so much for taking and we've got our all-state people, Noah Vanderbilt, Megan Chong, Justin Vanover, and Eric Meineke. And last but not least, I want to acknowledge our band booster officers. First Vice President, Mr. Smith, John Smith. Herb Flannery is actually our first Vice President, Mr. Smith II. Here's Fern. Secretary Jennifer Brown. Assistant Secretary Mia Williams. Our Treasurer Francis Young. And our Assistant Treasurer Joe Plum. I want to really, really thank all the booster parents this year. I've got a list, and I told Ms. Evans, I don't want to read it because I don't want to leave anybody out. But what I can say is, with the number of kids and the 70-some odd events that we have, it would be impossible without the boosters and what you do to help. Thank you so much, and I challenge each parent, friend, relative to commit to chaperoning or attending 2 events next year, at least 2, and really get to know these kids. I tease them a lot, I spend a lot of time with them. You'll be amazed at what you can learn from them, and you can also see the impact this school has on them. So I challenge everybody to 2 events and to really get involved with the kids, and it'll make a big difference for you and for them. Thank you.
This is the last time I'm going to get up, but we cannot operate and we cannot run Central High School successfully without our administrators. So I would like for each of you to stand. I know you have already presented awards, but stand again so the audience can see you. We just want to let you know that we truly appreciate you. Stand up. Davis is absent today. She is due to illness. She's ill. Mr. Hobbs is at another athletic event. Thank you.
I'm going to brag a minute. I know everybody's ready to go, but just a couple of things I want to say. Central is number 1. Our school number is 01, which is perfect because we are number 1 in so many ways. We were just talking, we're not a science magnet, we're not an arts magnet, and yet we have the best band, we won the most awards, we just won the most art awards, by the way, in the whole state. We have the most merit semifinalists, the most national achievements, the most Hispanic scholars. We win National Council of Teacher of English awards every year, Siemens Awards. There isn't an award in the state that Central doesn't win. And one of the primary reasons for this is evident tonight to me, and that is the support that we have from parents. Because the partnership between school and home is absolutely essential to success. So I want to take a minute and ask all the parents to please stand, and students, please let's show appreciation for the parents who support us. I remember back to 2003 and 4 when we were in the playoffs for the state football championship. And I think it was 2004 that one of the games came during the Thanksging holiday, am I right? And because of that, we weren't able to have our band play at the football game because people were on vacation and it was the holiday.